Today on VLAMP, we're showing you 5 tips to film your vacation and still have fun. Welcome everyone to VLAMP, video, lighting, audio, music, and photography how-to show. I'm of course your host, Matt Haslam, and today we have a remote episode from Ocean City, Maryland. It is beautiful here. I'm actually on vacation right now, so I thought it's very fitting to do a vacation-themed episode of our show. So today we're sharing with you 5 tips to film your vacation and still have fun while on your vacation. And that way you don't just come home with a bunch of footage and you really didn't have fun getting that footage. So the first is, remember you're on vacation too here. I mean, this is your vacation after all. One of the hardest things for me when I was on this vacation is remembering that, hey, I'm here to have fun too, and this is my time off from work to actually go and enjoy myself and not be a filmmaker, not be a photographer for everyone else. Remember, you're on vacation too, so really just put down your camera sometimes and remember to have a little fun. Or you can get things like a GoPro harness or something like that, so you can go in the ocean too and enjoy yourself and not have to worry about that camera all the time. Or you can have other people film, which is actually our second tip of the day. Give other people your cameras. It doesn't matter if they're not professional photographers or videographers or anything like that. Remember, you're on vacation, so sometimes you need to get in the picture too. If you just come home with a bunch of footage and pictures of everyone else, it seems like it's everyone else's vacation, not yours, and that you really weren't there. So years from now, when your kids see those pictures or whatever, or when your kids grow up and they see the pictures, they're going to remember that you weren't in the pictures and maybe you weren't there. So be sure to put down your camera and give it to other people sometimes and get in the picture yourself. Really hard thing for me this week was letting other people film and take photos with their iPhones. Seriously, it drives me nuts when people film with iPhones, but they don't know how to use my cameras, and maybe sometimes cell phone footage is okay, and I'm killing myself saying that right now, but it's sometimes okay in certain situations. So let other people take the photos of you in them. Let other people have your cameras for a little bit, especially with GoPros and stuff like that, where the GoPros can really get great footage on their own without manually focusing anything or without really zooming anything too much. Just basically point and shoot, especially with the GoPro 5 and 6 where they have their own screens on the back of them. That way you can see what they're capturing, and it's a lot easier for family members to kind of understand those cameras and get great footage for you and of you. The next tip is never ever ever edit while you're on vacation. Seriously, leave the editing go for when you're back home. I have tons of footage right now. I have hours upon hours of 4K footage from 3 or 4 different cameras right now, and it's all sitting in hard drives. I'm not gonna edit anything. Seriously, do not even look at your pictures until you get home, okay? Like, I've reviewed a couple of them just to see kind of the shots I'm getting and making sure I'm still getting good settings while I'm on vacation, but I'm gonna leave a majority of the editing and choosing which photos are the best, all that kind of stuff, for when I'm back home. And secondly, I'm not even posting on Facebook or anywhere that I'm on vacation because it's a security risk when I'm posting that I'm going to be on vacation at a certain time. If I say right now I'm going to be on vacation, well then other people that might want to rob me will know and will come to my house and take all my equipment. The next tip is to leave no camera behind. One of the hardest things I had on vacation here was putting GoPros different places and conveniently forgetting that I actually put cameras different places, especially when we went golfing. I left my camera set up and recording at the beginning of every hole, and I forgot that I set it up there. And so I walked away to the next hole forgetting my camera was there, so I had to keep going back and back and back. So please leave no camera behind. Remember how many cameras you had when you came on vacation. wherever you go, if you go to a restaurant, make sure you know, I had this many cameras on me, I had this many lenses on me. And that's another tip. Don't take too much. Most of the entire vacation, I've been using 1 or 2 cameras on and off, different situations, such as when we went to the beach, I took a bunch of GoPros stuff with me. When we went to different restaurants, I took DSLRs with me and stuff like that. 1 DSLR with 1, maybe 2 lenses with it. So I'm limiting myself to what equipment I'm bringing. That way I'm not weighed down by the equipment, and I'm not forgetting a bunch of stuff everywhere I go. A majority of the things that we did on vacation here, I kept having to remember my checklist in my own head of, here's what I brought with me, and here's what I need to make sure is in my bag before we go back home, and before we move on to the next hole of that mini golf game, or whatever we're doing that day. So that's a big tip. Leave no camera behind, and limit yourself to how much you're actually taking with you on whatever adventure that you're going. That way, if you lose stuff, it's bad, but it's not as horrible as you losing your entire case of all of your cameras. So my final tip here is to back up your footage 3 times. Now, why do I say 3 times? Well, because you're not going to be editing that footage until you're back home. And so you want to make sure you have every single second of video and you have every single photo you've captured. So, here's what you need to do. What we've been doing on our vacation has been copying all of our SD cards to an external hard drive. Then we copy it onto a secondary external hard drive and a third. Why do we do that? Well, it's because what if one of those hard drives fails? What if 2 of them fail? It's happened before. And remember, this footage is literally priceless. I can replace all of my cameras tomorrow for thousands upon thousands of dollars, but I cannot replace the footage that they captured on this trip. And because a lot of my family members are using these cameras as well while we're on vacation on their own little adventures all over the city, well, that footage is vital to keep for us to edit later. Later on, when we get back to the office, we will be deleting some of this footage on one of the drives. We'll still be keeping at least 2 copies of it forever. That's just how I personally do things. But if you're used to deleting some of your footage, well, then you can delete some of that footage later. But keep 3 copies of it while you're on vacation. Sometimes it's good enough if you have only some footage while you're on vacation to just back it up on a large USB flash drive. But other times, if you're like me and have a bunch of cameras on vacation, then you probably want to take with you a couple 2 terabyte external hard drives, and you can just plug them into a laptop, copy the footage really fast every single day, and move on to the next thing. I'm always reformatting my SD cards, and I never want to format an SD card until it is copied 3 times while we are on vacation. Because once I format that SD card, I only have so many SD cards while we're on vacation. And so once I format that SD card, I want to make sure that that footage is copied for me to edit through later. So that's it. That's our 5 tips to film your vacation and still have fun while you're on it. This has been an incredible week here in Ocean City, Maryland, with absolutely beautiful and perfect weather all week long. I will leave a link in the description box below to the vlog we made of all the different adventures we went on while we're here. That footage is all being edited once I get back home, like I said in my tips, and so I will leave a link below to that footage and that vlog. That way you can see what all of my cameras captured this week. And thank you guys for joining us. If you like this content and like to see more of it in the future, please do subscribe to our channel and hit that like button to let me know you like the video. If you guys have any tips for others on how to film their vacation and still have fun while on it, please do leave those in the comments down below. I'd love to know your tips for others as well. Thank you so much for watching. See us next time here on VLAN, Video Lighting, Audio, Music, and Photography How-To Show. Bye for now from beautiful Ocean City.